So I'm getting ready to go explore a bike trail in a city known as South Carolina's Riverfront. Now, word on the street is that you may encounter gators on this trail. So I decided to consult the interwebs to find out what to do in the event of an alligator encounter. I found an article from ABC News that says you should fight back, smack the alligator in the snout, and if possible, poke him in the eyes. Quote, "That's easier said than done, but of course, that's the best chance you have."
This is North Augusta, South Carolina. It's a town founded by railroad man, visionary, and city planner James Jackson. And it is indeed South Carolina's riverfront. Now, North Augusta, South Carolina is just across the state line, just across the river, the Savannah River, from her more famous sister, Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, Georgia has the Masters, it's the home of James Brown. It's kind of like Augusta, Georgia is the Marcia to North Augusta, South Carolina's Jan, if that makes any sense. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. But North Augusta should not feel bad. I mean, they've got the annual Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee every October. That's a big deal. That's nothing to sneeze at. Something else North Augusta can be proud of is a great bike trail called the North Augusta Greeneway. And we're going to go check it out right now because this, after all, is Joyful Trails, where I explore, rate, and review bike trails and hopefully find a little joy in the journey. Let's go. And here we are at the iconic sign signifying that yes, we are indeed at the trailhead for the North Augusta Greeneway. Look at what they've done with this. It's an old rail trail, of course, and so they're using part of an old train. And look at the tracks. I wonder if these perhaps are part of the actual tracks that were used here on the rail line many years ago. I don't know. Could be. Stranger things have happened. If you know the answer to that question, let us know in the comments below. You've got to love a trail that starts with a tunnel, right? Man, we've barely gotten started good on this trail, and another tunnel. And there it is. Alligators may live here. Be careful, be safe. Do not approach, feed, or harass the alligators. Okay. I'm not sure who they're talking to, but your boy ain't never going to be caught approaching or harassing an alligator, as we say in Alabama. Excuse me, harassing. I will not harass the gator today, Mummy.
You won't travel very far before you come to a spur that takes you down to the riverfront. After crossing a couple of bridges, you'll find that this alternate path connects the Greenway with a local neighborhood and gives you some spectacular views of the Savannah River, up close and personal. It also passes right by SRP Park, home of the Green Jackets. That is pretty cool. Now here's something interesting. There's a fork in the trail here, and in the middle, in between the two lanes, you have something called a fit trail. It is a series of natural exercises using mostly pieces of wood, as far as I can tell, maybe some wood and metal. And I don't know, maybe I should take a little time out and try one. Okay, so I've decided that exercise is just not all that it's cracked up to be, okay? Let's get back on the trail. Got a question for you. What's the farthest you would travel to ride a bike trail? For example, this trail is about 2 hours from my home, maybe a little more than 2 hours. So it's kind of a full day trip. There's a little bit of a time investment. What's the farthest you're willing to drive to check out a new bike trail? Post in the comments below. Now here's something you don't see every day. A convenience store right on the trail. Hungry? Thirsty? Gotta pee? No problem. So in case you're wondering, yes, I did step inside the Sprint and I got a protein bar and a bottle of water, and I also got a coffee-flavored can of Coke. Don't judge me. Back to the trail in just a moment, but first, here's 3 things I bet you probably didn't know about the North Augusta Greeneway. And why am I talking like that? I have no idea. Number one, there is a strange rule here that you can only wear one earbud. It is in print, it is posted, it is the one earbud rule. Personally, I think it would be hilarious if there were a one earbud limit and a 2-drink minimum. Number two, Greenway is not misspelled. The reason they spell it that way is for former Mayor Tom Greene. This whole Greenway was his idea. He pushed for it. And by all accounts, now I did not know him, but from all accounts, he was a very nice man. And number three, puppy dogs and butterflies. That's right, there is a dog park just steps away from this trail. And there is a butterfly garden also steps away from the trail. By the way, if you like this video, then I would encourage you to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. By the way, if you're wondering, this trail is somewhere between 12 and 15 miles round trip if you start at one end and go to the other. And it might be more like 15 miles if you include the spurs, the detours. So it's a nice ride. So at one point, the trail literally goes directly through a subdivision, which has got to be incredibly convenient for the people who live in that neighborhood. So what is the star of the show here at the North Augusta Greenway? Well, I love that one bridge that's almost like a cage. Love the tunnels. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it to the trees and the peaceful, easy, gentle feeling that you have when you're on this trail. It's hard to explain, but there's just a peace here. There is a peaceful feeling that is it's sort of uncommon, really. In the interest of full disclosure, this is actually my third time on the North Augusta Greenway, and it's been this way every time. I love it. Hey, wildlife alert. It's not an alligator, but I did see a deer right there on the trail. Watch out for deer, by the way. They're cute and all, but they can mess up a bicycle. On the way back to the trailhead, I noticed another spur that took me to something called the Brick Pond Park. The Brick Pond Park is adjacent to the North Augusta Greeneway, and it's 40 acres of restored wetland. It's a good place to just stop, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of various wildlife that live within the park. Maybe this will be the place to finally see that gator I've been looking for.
Well, I saw an alligator. It wasn't a big alligator. It was kind of a small one. It might have been a baby one, which kind of caused me to get out of there, because I've always heard that where there's a baby alligator, there's probably a larger mother type. There's probably a larger mother figure alligator close by. And I did not want to be faced with the decision of whether or not to harass the mother alligator. So I just got out of there. But yeah, I saw an alligator at the Brick Pond Park when it was almost time to go. Pretty cool. So what do we think about the North Augusta Greenway? Well, I'll tell you what, been here 3 times. I love this trail. I love it. There are trails that are longer. There are trails that maybe have more bells and whistles. There are trails that have better PR departments. But at the end of the day, it's that peaceful, easy feeling that keeps me coming back. 4 stars. 4 stars for the North Augusta Greenway. And I saw an alligator. No, it was small, but it was an alligator. Well, my time here is almost done. Time to say goodbye, but I met a guy, as you tend to do on these bike trips. I forgot his name. Sir, if you see this video, remind me of your name in the comments below, and I thank you for the information. He told me that, as it turns out, no, this little piece of track here probably is not actual leftover track from back in the day. That's probably more like, you know, artistic license or cosmetic theater. But right over here across the street, as part of the golf course, you can still see it. You see that over there? The remnant of, I believe he said it was the old Georgia, let me zoom in a little bit. There it is, the old Georgia-Florida line that came through. And there's the track still standing. Yeah, it's a little worse off for the wear, but you know, aren't we all?